cast your mind back 150 years if you can. 1874, Auckland's population wasn't even 70,000 people, and the National Railway was being built. North Shore Club is steeped in history. Matt, 150 years for North Shore Rowing Club. You've written a history book about it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I have. It's been a bit of a pet project over the past few years, assembling all the history of the club, and of course commencing in Devonport in 1874. The hall that they built is the Calliope Sea Scouts Hall. It still exists today. When Devonport was founded, there was obviously no harbour bridge, so the only way that settlement could actually do trade with the city on the other side was to row over. So they lived on this side but would go and transact, and so in order to get across the harbour, they would row these big whale boats. So these huge big wooden tubs which you had to race with all of the whaleboat hunting equipment, so harpoons and spears and oars and all of that kit. They found that after about 50 odd years the water became too rough to row, and they moved to the pump house, which is just behind us, and then moving here to the site on Lake Pupuki, the end of Northcote Road, and now finally our recent journey out to Rame Road in the Upper Harbour. In 1958, it was the first club to allow female membership. We were a bit of a pioneering club in that regard. It's interesting looking at the newspaper articles during the time. There was these beliefs that women couldn't row and didn't have the capability to do so, and the club at the time saw past that, and they were the club that won the first women's four event at the New Zealand Championships. We're particularly proud of the fact that in sort of the last 10 years or so, we've been able to produce a couple of Olympians into the New Zealand team. It is a really sort of special place in that we still see ourselves very much as a community rowing centre. We're able to cater for everyone from novice right through to our Masters program.
Masters rowing is fantastic. We are a bunch of dynamic, passionate, inclusive and supportive people from age 30 to age 70. We're out here every morning getting our exercise in, but also supporting each other and keeping our mental health up, which is so critical. Last year we went to the Australian Masters Nationals and we took some medals from the Aussies and various boats. They were a bit disturbed to see such a good New Zealand crew there. So rowing is really a lifelong sport, and North Shore supported that.
The 80s were amazing for North Shore.
The 80s were boom down at this rowing club. I came here straight out of Westlake Boys. It was a dirt floor. It was basically a bit of a shack, but the place was moving because the boats were going fast. We had great crews. We were club champions for about 2 years running from just vaguely memory. And we were winning redcoats. So it was an amazing place to be. We had some really great coaching. So we had Brian Hawthorne. There was a whole lot of very enthusiastic coaches around. Dick Parker. There was a guy, Robin Crooks, who cursed and blinded his way around the whole rowing club day in, day out. But the place was energised. The big fundraising event for North Shore Rowing Club during the 80s was the chicken manure run, where we would have to go and bag up chicken manure from all the egg farms around the North Shore. The day of the manure run, all the coach trucks would come down, and there would be all these people loading up these bags of chicken manure and taking them all around the North Shore, which were pre-ordered. But the thing was, it always rained on chicken manure run day, so you would be covered in head to toe with chicken poo all day. There's no health and safety back then. We were jumping up on trucks and hauling stuff off these coach trucks. It was the greatest thing. 4 bags to the Petrie. I'll hand deliver them. It looks like they're attracting talent again, and also they've got this new rebuild happening in Greenhithe. Very proud of this club, so amazing.
So Dan, you're a New Zealand representative, you're also a member of the North Shore Rowing Club. Tell me what that's like.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, the New Zealand representative stage of my life was a few years ago when I was living down in Cambridge. So I've moved up to Auckland and wanted to find a way back into the sport, and North Shore was able to offer that for me, which is great. Work obviously has to take priority, but being able to row at the same time and work has been quite good for my lifestyle, my balance. I think it's improved my quality of life in quite a few ways. So yeah, it's good to be able to keep fit, make some mates, get out there and try and get some results at the end of the day. Yeah, I like how as a group and a collective across both the men's and women's squads, there's quite an intense culture about trying to do our best. Everyone puts their best foot forward and everyone's committing to those on waters and the erg trainings and the weight trainings, and as a result it's a really fun environment to be in when we get out there on the water, because the boats are going well and everyone's trying their best, and that's where you kind of want to, it's the environment you want to row in. So yeah, North Shore exemplifies that in many ways, and it's been quite enjoyable for me to come back into rowing and be a part of this club. It's had a rich history as time's gone on, and we as a club in our 150th year put a pretty big effort to try and do well at nationals and celebrate what has been and what is going to be. So the way we kind of approached the year was a 150th celebration, but then to continue on with that as well, and the legacy that there has been, we want to extend that legacy, and we've spoken about as a crew as building a dynasty. We want to see North Shore continue to do well in the years to come, and we're really looking forward to trying to act on that this season and more seasons to come.
Well, Barry, you've been with the club almost 50 years. You were 15 when you started. You've had a long history with North Shore. What's that been like?
It's been fabulous. It's probably made me in a lot of ways. The early morning starts, the discipline, all of that stuff that rowing teaches young kids, perseverance, life skills. Because you're mixing with all sorts in the sport, and it's just fun to be around, and it's addictive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you went to the Olympics. You won a bronze medal in the 1984 Olympics.
That's right, yeah.
The North Shore Club must be very proud of you.
There's quite a number of other Olympians in the club, some of who have done better, but yeah, I'm sure they are. They may be a life member, but that may be because of my longevity rather than what I did on the water. Yeah, I was out coaching this morning in the rain. There was a bit of rain around, yeah. But I enjoy it, it's good, giving back. We've got a lot on. This building that you see behind you is just about ready to fall down, and it's a project of Mike Stanley, myself, Roger Kerr and others in the club to rebuild it. So we've got a double-decker, 2-storey boat shed due to go in there. So we've got our resource consent, we've got building consent, all we need now is the money.
Clubs can be bricks and mortar and the boats and so on, but what really matters is the people, the memories that are created, and the connections and friendships which are formed.
And exciting times ahead, October, the big party, what's happening?
Yeah, so I think it'll be one of the biggest events that the club has ever seen. So we expect about 300 people. We're making a weekend of it. So there are 2 events on the 11th and 12th of October. We look forward to celebrating with all of the past members and current members the rich history that the club has had.
Very hungry after being out on the water this morning.
Well, I got some food or something in my
So Cam, you've been with the club 25 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Long time.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
keeps you coming back to North Shore?
I just love the sport, love it in any way, all its forms, out on the water, out on the boats. It's the physicality of it, of rowing, yeah. It's really my thing. It's been an institution for me. I started when I was 14, coming to this old shed, and great guys. I've got some of my best mates from this club. Yeah, there's a few other clubs around Auckland, but this is the one for me.